Yo guys, what is up? My name is Taps. Today we're back, and alright, this video is about The Last of Us Part 2. Spoiler, if anybody is not played the very first game or watched the playthrough of the very first game, please do not watch this. Or if you guys haven't seen The Last of Us Part 2, please do not watch this. I want you guys to experience the gameplay or go play the game for yourself. Warning is explained. Please do not watch this if you haven't played the games. So, the plot line to The Last of Us is the spoilers and everything I need to tell you about. So, The Last of Us Part 2 begins off with Joel telling his brother about Tommy, about everything what happened in the very first game, how they were trying to make a vaccine for the virus, but Ellie is immune to the virus. So what they're going to do is they're going to open her brain up, because the infection, once you get bitten, it goes straight up to the brain, and it starts from there. She's immune. Ellie is now immune to the virus that is going around. The virus, or whatever you want to call it. The cordyceps. I don't know the entire names. I'm going to tell you things about you probably haven't known yet. But the cordyceps is a fungal virus that the scientists were doing, and it's got out and it affects the people, and it changes them to the point where it's no longer human beings. They are now pretty much zombies. Pretty much, this is an apocalyptic world about the cordyceps taking over, and it's pretty much like zombies, and a few people have survived from that. So, before we begin off with the plot line and every spoiler I need to tell you about, let's go and go with the cordyceps. The cordyceps is a fungi mushroom that the scientist was working on, and the fungus has started in the world around them. So what happens was, it goes to the brain and it corrupts them, which means you're no longer human. Well, you are still human, but the cordyceps take over your body. It eats up at your system. You start growing. Now it doesn't start immediately. It starts growing after time, after time, after time, after time, after time. Now there is stage 1. You no longer are human. The cordyceps has taken over your entire body, which means you'll be able to see, but you act crazy like a zombie. Stage 2 starts after like maybe 2 years, after 1 year maybe, and that starts as a clicker. Clickers is where the fungi starts expanding from your head. So pretty much your hair will start falling out, and mushrooms will go around your eyes, spreading out, and you still have your teeth and everything, just all this gone. So pretty much like clickers, like, you know how bats do have echolocation, like, but what they do is they click, like kick, click, 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 to see if anything's around you. Now this actually does work. If you actually close your eyes and go, you can pretty much tell if something's in front of you or not. You just have to imagine it or something like that, okay? Now, then stage 3, clickers. So the fourth stage is alright, so fourth stage, alright, I fucked this up completely. So, fourth stage is what takes over your body and everything else. You'll be able to see. Stage 2, after a year from now, it starts growing, and those are called runners. Stage 3, clickers happen. Fungi start growing over your face. They click and see they're most dangerous. They can hear objects. They run towards where it's coming from, and they see and check it out. Now, stage 4 is fungi protection. So after about 5 to 10 years, or maybe to 6 years, fungi start growing around your body and everything else. And these are called, I don't know what they're called, but they are super armor. So if you shoot at it, it just takes of that away. And I don't really care what it's called, but it starts taking that away, and it's going to keep on growing into bloaters. Bloaters are in the second game, and what they do is they puff out acid onto you, which can affect you. So after that happens, So that's all I know for right now as I seen. So those are the cordyceps. And let's go ahead and start off with the part 1 to the part 2. If you've seen the gameplay of it, you may want to skip a little bit farther. I just want to let the people who on that part we're not going to be watching the Last of Us part 2 and 1. Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you. So the very first day, the main protagonist in the very first story is named Joel. Joel is a father of one, which is Sarah. Sarah is his young daughter in the very first game. The first game takes place when it starts happening. It is Joel's birthday, and Sarah gets up. You get to play as her for just a little bit, maybe to 20 to 10 minutes of the game. So at the very part of it, Joel and Tommy comes up in the driveway. They start running. Joel shoots his neighbor. They drive off and try to get out of the city like everybody else. But it's too much people are trying to get out of the city to the point where the runners start coming out and coming after them. And after that, they get out the car. They crash. And happen else, they start running. And they meet the soldier with a gun. They are saying they're not affected. He pleads with his boss. The boss says go ahead and shoot him. So he starts shooting, and Joel tries to protect his daughter. But what happens? Sarah has gotten shot. And right before the guard can kill him, his brother Tommy comes out of nowhere and shoots him in the head. Sarah is dead. Passes about maybe 30 to 20 years past. Joel is now a smuggler with his partner named Tess. Now Tess is a smuggler, and they have jobs to do. So what happens, there's an attack of the Fireflies. They get sick of the place. They leave, and they meet with or try and get. So what happens, they try and get they go out and try to find this and that. And then they have another job is transporting human cargo. There's a little girl named Ellie. She is 14. Nobody has seen her get bit. But there is a DLC I will be covering in a minute here. Now, if you guys are still here and you guys do not feel like going through this, please skip on maybe the 5 to 10 minutes on somewhere, because this is going to take a long time. So what happened was they smuggled her out. So Joel does not want to get Ellie, but to also find out they needed them to get her to the Fireflies. They go to that location. The Fireflies are not there. Tess gets bit like 10 to 20 minutes ago. So they found out Ellie has gotten bit, but she is immune to it. So what was scavengers nearby hear this. They come on in. Tess tries to get and buy them time. Tess dies. After that, they move on. Joel explains the rules to Ellie about everything else. After that, they move on and try and get them and find a place to somewhere where the Fireflies are. And because or they trying to find his brother Tommy. They found his brother Tommy. So I'm going to skip the medium part of where. So in the medium part is what happened is basic little stuff I don't really need to tell you about. The everything else. So they find their brother Tommy, and Tommy was a Firefly. And what happened was they take Ellie to him, and what happened was Ellie runs off. Joel has that little talk with her, and what was Joel and Ellie are pretty much bonded together. And so they move on to Seattle, I believe, or I don't know, Boston. And the files, so they take Ellie to the Fireflies, and after that, they're not there, but they get attacked by a group of bandits. Joel falls down with the bandit. The bandit dies, but Joel is now impaled with a pole in him. So Ellie takes him to a very far place. Winter comes by. Ellie is fixing or helping Joel get better. She's going out to go look after food. She gets she finds these other people that attack them. So there is a cannibal. I don't know his name. I forgot his name. So I was the cannibal, and Ellie. And then Ellie has a big fight with him. He dies. Ellie starts marking her. Now Joel is now good. Now he has all his stamina and health back. He grabs Ellie. They have an emotional. So they go to Seattle to take her to the Fireflies. They find the Fireflies, and the girl from the beginning up there tells him what happened, and Joel finds out that the only way they make a vaccine is if they open her head and take out a part of her brain to see if they can make a cure for the disease or virus. So what happened was Joel says, no, 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 naughty, naughty, and goes in there, kills everybody, even the doctors that were about to do surgery. Now, that one doctor that says, I won't let you take her, keep that in the back of your mind. Alright? So after that, Joel takes Ellie back to Tommy's place, and at the very end, Joel kills the girl that was trying to get Ellie, and Ellie wakes up in the backseat of the car driving away. Joel lies to her about everything. They were saying, oh, there was more patients out there they could use, not Ellie. So Ellie seems kind of suspicious of this, but she believed him. She made him take a promise, and after that, it cuts off from the very next game. At the very next game, it takes place about 4 years later in Tommy's little hometown up in near I'm gonna say near the mountains, near Seattle, but like very long way, I don't know, something like that. Alright, so what happened was, so Ellie and Joel are now bonded. Joel has taught Ellie how to play the guitar. So what happened was, so this starts off with part 2. Part 2, the game that just came out yesterday. So the game starts off in Tommy's old town. Joel tells Tommy what had happened. After that, so they go back into town, and it showed a lot of good things. They're playing the guitar. They talk about a lot of things, and it cuts off for 4 years later. Now they do routes. Joel and Tommy had got up early that early morning, and went to go scout out the entire place for clickers, survival, anything they can find. And after that, it cuts off to Ellie. You all know Ellie. Ellie is now lesbian. Ellie has been lesbian. Sorry for the people that I just said. She is now lesbian. Now there's another character named Dina, Ellie, and a lot of things. Now I have not figured out the entire story of it, but I'm gonna try and go along as I possibly could. So what happened is that Ellie is now Dina from the trailer, as you guys saw. Dina had kissed Ellie, and they had a good kiss at the bar. And it takes place from there. A lot of hell breaks loose because of what she did, kissing and lesbian. And they go send Dina and Ellie out and see. Now, they didn't kick them out. They're going to go do routes around and see. Now, there's a guy named Jesse. Not my Jesse, not Jessy. It's like Jesse, another, well, spread. Like the Jesse to show off of Disney. And I don't care about that. So what happened is that they go look around, they smoke weed, and because they found some, and it cuts off to Abby. Well, actually, it doesn't cut off from them to Abby. It actually, when they force to get out the gate, it cuts to Abby. Abby is a girl that is not from the first game, but she is now a new character that you will be able to play as. There was 3 people you'll be able to play as. At the very first part of the game, you'll be playing as Joel. That'll be the last time you play as Joel from the game. Now, and then you play as Ellie and Abby. Most likely, you'll be playing as Abby most part, and Ellie as the most part as well. So, pretty much, what happened is, Abby is looking for somebody near that one area where Joel and Tommy is now in. So, what happened was, Owen and a group of them, Owen shows her what the place they're looking at. The place where Ellie and Dana and Tommy and Joel had left. That's the place. They're looking for somebody especially. So what happened was, she goes look around. She tells Owen, let's go look around, see if there's... Owen says, no, because that's so big, no, I'm probably not going to find him. So he heads back to the cabin, like 2 hours up the hill from there. And so Abby's like, fuck this shit, I'm gonna go find them. She goes down, and a whole bunch of clickers start coming after her, and then it cuts back to Ellie smoking weed, and they're gonna be having sex. You won't be able to see the sex, but it was switched back to Abby running away from the clickers, and she gets pinned while the clicker is on top of her, and she's trying to push. Joel comes up, shoots the clicker in the head. They run off, find shelter, and then they go back to Abby's place. They introduce each other. Tommy goes first, and then this is my brother Joel. And what happened was, Joel's like, sounds like you guys hold of me before. And Abby turns around, Joel turns around, and Abby says, yeah, we've been looking for you, or something like that. Yeah, we heard of you. Yeah. They go. She shoots Joel in the leg with a pump shotgun, and Tommy was like, no. He gets hammered down with he doesn't die, but they take the I don't know what this part of the gun. So there's a revolver, you know how you have it, and this is the edge of it, and hits him in the head right here, knocks him out. And Joel's like, go ahead and kill me already, get this over with. And Abby's like, trinket his leg. If you don't know what trinket is, I'm not gonna explain because I'm trying to hurry up here. And so what happened was, after that, so Joel, and it cuts back to Ellie get done having sex, and Jesse comes in and says, I'm supposed to meet Joel up there. He wasn't there, so they all split up, and Ellie finds Joel beaten up with a golf club. Now, Joel right here, this is the last part. You'll be able to see Joel right here as alive for the moment being. Now, there's other parts of it, so this might be required for a part 2, but hammers down. Ellie comes in with her gun, but remember, she has a good group of people. The people try to take her down. She cuts somebody. She gets kicked a couple of times. And what happened was, she has to watch Joel be bloodied up in the head. And Abby, and Owen was saying, hurry up and finish this before the entire time's on top of us. Abby's like, you know what we want. And Owen says, get this over with, quickly, end it. So what happened was, Ellie literally has to sit there on the ground, watch Joel be hit one more time in the head with a golf club. And that was the part. He dies and blooded up and everything else. And Ellie gets knocked out by her foot. So Dina comes in and says, wake up, Ellie. And that happens there. That's what happens. Right there. Alright, guys. This is going to be recorded for part 2. Please like and subscribe. So I'll see you guys in the next part 2. Thank you.